It's important to know.
It
We're
is.
live. Yes, we're live.
Has he
now.
got a bubble butt then?
How much?
God damn, now we're live.
I think you
How
just
much
opened
do
the
I
show
have
with
to
that
pay to
line,
get a
Dave.
picture of it?
A lot.
Send me your number. I'll take a photo now.
Oh, sweet.
All right, yeah, sure.
Count me in. Let's all send her our number.
I think you already have a couple. You've some to choose from, fuck's sake.
Not on my new phone, I don't.
I mean, he's Irish. Were you expecting like a Jamaican muscular? Like, what were you expecting there?
I work out. You know?
Who me? Who was I
It's
expecting?
a good thing. You'd have no butt at all.
Fuck off.
Well, I imagine the combination of alcohol and potatoes gets a pretty nice butt, plus the physical labor job. I'm just saying,
That's
Yeah.
racist.
They don't have potatoes in Ireland.
We don't have potatoes in Ireland.
But the Blake watched them all out.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. Oh my goodness.
Blake wiped them all out.
And you call
after the plague, you don't really.
Right, just give me 2
Yeah.
seconds.
Try and get a cup of tea.
That might be a little outdated. Maybe.
Yeah.
I'm sorted now.
Oh.
Have you met the Northern Irish Assembly?
Right, we're done. And
I forgot we're live.
this correctly, then we have Sarah and Sam as well. Right, there you are. You're on camera. You aren't massive, but you're there.
This is the height of
Yay!
So, anybody here? I know Chris didn't get a chance to watch the show. Chris was very busy with family issues and what. That's the truth, isn't it, Chris? Yeah.
Oh, amongst other things, yes. Midterms. I just finished midterms. Many things to grade. Many things to grade.
Opinions, feedback, people who watched the show. Plus, Richard had a question he wanted to ask Marie as well.
Oh yes.
Yeah, I was just going to say I'll let Richard ask and then I'll give the
Richard, go on ahead with your question then.
Oh, you guys, how sweet of you guys. Thanks. First, Marie, peace and respect. And thank you for your very nice comment about the show Revelation MathPig and I are doing.
Oh yeah, I love
really
it.
appreciate
Actually,
what you
I've got
said.
really into it. Just are funny.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
great.
really, honestly, yeah, I find it really interesting. Yeah.
I do too. Riveting, really. Okay, so because of my religious stance, and I don't want to be biased, I've spent quite a bit of time looking into how people make, specifically how I could be making mistakes.
Yes.
So I have found that what is very interesting and confirming is information theory. And I'm not asking you to be an expert in information theory. I'm just going to say some things about it and see what your experience has been. Okay.
Okay.
So relatively low pressure, easy.
Is this like a psych evaluation?
No, he's going to do...
What's
the
that?
quantum-
Not at all.
The way the quantum mysticism, you didn't know the label.
Yeah.
He's going to describe something and you will see if that label applies to what.
Oh, right. So there's already a term for something I maybe know. Is that what you're trying to say?
he's
Right.
right,
Okay.
he's right.
Yes.
Right.
All right.
You would naturally know these things and be able to answer.
Right. Okay. I'll have a go.
I'm just gonna put some standard ways of saying things.
Okay.
That's all. Okay. All right. So the idea is in information theory that we only know that we have had conversation or experience of some other mind because that mind gives us information we did not have. So I know that you have had genuine experiences where you knew things you did not know from experience.
Yes.
Could you talk about any of those?
Oh my goodness! See, when you're put in the spot, I know exactly what you're talking about. But to
Hi,
try
brother.
and think.
How about
Yeah,
this?
well, I
How
can
about-
talk.
You mentioned that you needed a thing, but you didn't know where the thing could be or where you might find the
Yeah.
thing.
Yeah.
And then you said, and then the thing is there when you need it.
Yes.
And sometimes it's already there before you know you need it, or something like that.
Yeah. Yeah. Absolutely.
Would you talk a little bit about one of those kinds of experiences?
Yeah, well, that what the point I was making there was, you know, as a lot of people, you know, I've struggled with money and different things, but I work with the law of attraction. You know, I am. What I didn't get a chance to say was, I suppose, as well as I kind of believe magic to me is just a higher form of psychology that we don't know about yet. You know, a lot of the things I believe. But yeah, so I've been working with the law of attraction, and you know, I am also pretty good with maths and statistics. And statistically, I shouldn't have the luck I have. Do you know what I mean? But I do. I haven't always had this luck, but I always believed it was possible. And, you know, that's what I mean when I'm talking about miracles. And I know before we go into, you know, a miracle has to be this, you know, in my view, miracles are things that happen, you know, with no rhyme or reason.
So a miracle to you would not be a supernatural thing more per se. A miracle to you would be something that happens.
Oh, there's you can rationally explain how it has happened.
Yes.
But you can't rationally explain how it happened just at the time when you needed it the most.
So it's a quinkadink.
Yeah.
It's a quinkadink.
There you go. But I don't know if that answers the question. The only other thing I could say to you is I don't remember a lot of dreams at the moment. There's, for whatever reasons.
Smoking weed. Smoking
I know that.
I know that. I'm the same.
But what used to happen?
She smokes weed?
Yeah.
God.
Yeah.
She's also the lead singer in a band back. Now behave yourself. She's got a man.
Now, I can give you another example that might fit what you're talking about, Richard, which is when I would have premonitionary dreams. And when I say premonitionary dreams, I'm not talking about I see the Twin Towers being blown up or whatever. What I'm talking about is really basic mundane things, like literally. Mm-hmm. And the last vivid one I remember is I was going to a restaurant. This was a Friday night. I was going to sleep, and the next night I was going to a restaurant I'd never been to before. I knew where it was and I knew of the restaurant, but I was going to it for the first time for a friend's birthday. And in the dream, I bumped into another friend I hadn't seen, let's say 15 years, right? And when I woke up, I knew that was going to happen. And then I forgot about it. And then we went to the restaurant and I've forgotten all about it. And as I walked out, who walked in? Only the person I hadn't seen in 15 years. So that might be an example.
I've had them.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's an informational example. I think that's a good example.
Yeah.
So what you're saying is, let me break this down. What you're saying is, in that particular experience, you didn't have the general feeling that you would meet someone you hadn't seen in a while. You knew the person who was going to show up.
Yes. Yeah, I dreamt about them.
Did you tell this story to anyone, or did you
there was
write
witnesses,
it down?
and I actually told my husband. We're not together now, but I told my husband at the time about the dream when I woke up, because I knew I'd got to know at this point what dreams were actually premonitions and what were just dreams. Now I don't have a lot of examples of those, but they've happened all through my life. Not like I say any big event, but like literally things happen exactly.
Under law of attraction, you used the word chance, and Math used the word coincidence.
Yes.
No, but you also spoke of your study of statistical data.
Coinkadink.
Hang on, no, I don't think that's what he's referring to, though.
Coinkadink, then. But you said you also studied how statistics work and can be manipulated, and when they're honest and when they're not.
I've obviously studied maths.
Isn't it true that when we say chance or coincidence, and if our experience followed the mathematical chance, we'd be almost never right?
I'm not sure that I totally agree with that. When I talk about statistics, I have a really good head for statistics, and again, it's like this knowing thing. And then what I like about statistics is I'll have an idea of what the statistical rate should be for something when I get an idea about it, and I can go and look that up, and it will be very close. I just am very good with numbers for some reason, and I suppose I know when I know intuitively if something is statistically possible or not, how high or low it is to be statistically possible, so sort of lost my train of thought. I'm so sorry, guys. I'm starting to get
No, what I'm trying to get, I think Richard is trying to put across is that
I think
landing more on the high numbers.
Yes.
The fact that it is a 1 in a bajillion chance that you'll hit every single green light in every traffic for the rest of your life.
Right.
The chances of that happening is very high, but it still happens.
Yes, that's what I mean. But I suppose my belief lies in those.
No, so I'm wrong. Okay.
No, that's like the exact opposite of what I was asking, actually.
Yeah. Sorry, Richard.
I'm usually on
because you could subconsciously time lights and adjust your speed to hit green lights.
Yeah, you can.
And if you're a trucker like Beck, you did it lots of times on purpose.
Yeah, well, I used that example as I mentioned it earlier because, I did the one at work and it was, that's the reason I used that example.
Yeah, so it's a horrible example and it has nothing to do with chance.
Yes. But if you're asking, what I feel like is, I hear you saying chance and coincidence, but my word would be synchronicity. You know, that I don't believe. I do believe in coincidences. Of course, they happen. Just coincidence. But you know, I find a lot of things are more synchronistic than coincidence. And I know the two words refer pretty much to the same thing, but I don't see them exactly the same. Do you know what I mean? So
thank you.
Is that what you were asking, Eva?
I appreciate the time. Thank you very much.
Chris, any questions would you like to delve in? Seeing as you missed the interview, have you any very poignant questions, like 3 questions you could just ask, and then you have an idea who Marie is?
Probably not, but I can try.
Well, an attempt is all we're going for.
All right.
We're going to call you the expert
3.
tonight. You're the only one that has a PhD, so we're calling you the expert.
No, I don't. I do. Well, hold on a second.
Sorry,
I want to correct you. I
bachelor's.
do not have a PhD. I do not have a PhD. I do have a master's. I don't have a PhD.
Sorry.
So, the first question I would ask is, at what age did you start entertaining the beliefs that became what is now the full-throated version of your belief system?
I don't ever remember an age that I didn't believe, you know, and I suppose when I was younger that could be because I was a child and I needed to believe in magic. You know, I'm totally open to that. But I don't ever really remember a time where I didn't believe in magic, you know, and as I grew up, I started to understand that some types of magic were, you know, literally just like Disney films and blah, blah, blah.
Princesses.
Yes. And I did get disillusioned for a while, you know, I suppose in my 20s. And then, you know, I got curious again and I found people that could sort of help me work out, you know, answer questions. But that took a long time too. So, and it hasn't been easily done, but
your initiation happened after, I assume, off and off the street and they just initiated.
No,
So
definitely
there's obviously a couple of years before that.
Oh yeah. It's always been there. And then I knew that there were communities of pagans and things, but at the same time, you know, the occult means the hidden, and some of these communities take that very seriously and understandably so. You know, like at the minute, it's cool to be a witch. It's not, you know, but most of the time it's not. You know, it's really not. You know, you really are classed as the kooky one, or the, you know, people. You know, you call yourself a witch and you're setting yourself up for a lot of.
Well, not that I've looked into the witch trials or anything like that, but that's more outspoken.
But that's the
women.
extreme.
Yeah, that's outspoken women and just, you know, keeping women in line and church and things like that. There.
That actually leads pretty nicely into the next question I was going to ask, which is, how does your current belief system increase your quality of life? Like give us some like actionables, like things that happen to you throughout the day where you can say, or not, because I think that's also a valid, you know, people can have beliefs and belief systems without actually thinking that it affects their lives in interactive ways. Bless you twice.
Well, like on the day-to-day, that's what I say, you know, I work a lot with the law of attraction. So, you know, unfortunately, I have a lot of shadow work to do, and I'm sure you all know what, like, you know, working on, everybody has their things that they're working on, you know, that their traits that sort of hold them back in life, so I suppose. But generally, you know, I've been working with the law of attraction, and it once you see it starting to work, you know it works, but you have to be very balanced, you know, to be able to make it work to the maximum, you know, but I see evidence of it every day, pretty much in my life. You know, I have my own business. I don't think I ever go a week without somebody paying me extra money, you know, and I only have a set amount of clients, let's say 14 clients that I work with, you know, on a road over 2 weeks, you know, some of them are every other week, some of, you know, so like all these different things, and I the more I sort of walk down what I believe is my path, the more proof I get back, if you know what I mean. Like my example of the podcast, and this is something I've talked about for about 2 years. I haven't actually tried to manifest it, and then now it's just happened. So to me, that's happening for a reason.
You take pride in your work.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I do, surely, yeah.
Yeah,
and that's why I get paid extra. Yeah, but that's.
But that's, you know, something I was saying with the body language and shit like that. You know, before I left that business I was working in for 20 years. Yeah, you know, most someone had made in one day, because I could read that person and did that wee extra step. You know, if someone walks in and does the toilet like that and leaves, and you're down with a toothbrush, you're going to get a few extra pound because you're doing a good job, you know. But I wouldn't say that again, that's what you get out, and what you put out is what you get back. But I wouldn't again put it on energy. I would put it on work that you're doing.
Yes, no, it's completely down to the work that I'm doing that I get whatever benefits and tips. But the thing is, I love my work, you know. So it's very synchronicity, or synchronicity, or I don't know what the word is.
It aligns really well.
It aligns, yeah, because my work is ideal for me. You know, it works in so many ways. I'm my own boss. I've worked as an employee for many years. I left a job I was in 17 years to start my own business. But I couldn't start the business at the time because I fell pregnant, and you know, now I'm doing all that while being a mother. You know, so you know, I know you can all break this down and say, but you did this. You know, that was because you did this. This you made this action and not that reaction.
The panel is missing. I did reach out to 2 Christians, and other than I'm sorry to insult you, Richard. You're a heretic, but you know. We've got Richard, we've got atheists, we've got an ex-Jew. You know, I tried to get the Christians on as well. I wanted to try and make the panel as widely available as possible because, you know, rather than just me.
I'm fine. Like, it's, you know, it's perfect. You know,
no, just to say that there a lot of people have different opinions.
Oh yeah, no, I don't, and I don't expect. I'm in no way trying to sway anybody to believe what I believe. I don't need anybody to believe what I believe. I am perfectly fine in that sense, but I'm really happy to talk about it. You know, and I found that when I go out, you know, when me and Johnny go out and we're in clubs and all, you know, I do seem to be able to, you know, people do want to talk to me and ask me questions, you know, because I'm quirky or, you know, and, you know, I like that.
Monster Munch Top.
Yeah, well, you know, I'm putting you know, this is all subconscious, I'm sure, you know, I would not deny that, but, you know, it's because I want to sort of, you know, be a light to people like me, so I have to put my best sort of me forward, if that makes sense, so that I can attract.
If I may,
law of attraction.
That actually leads into a third question. And so if I can just fill the trilogy, it's fantastic.
Yes, sorry. Good.
If you had just a moment to, to talk to people who don't understand your belief system and address the thing that you think is the most stigmatized, what would you say about it to people who don't understand it, other than you just don't understand it? Like what way would you frame it for us to be more empathic and compassionate towards that position, considering we don't understand it?
Well, I don't know. I've never really thought about it that way, but the question that you're asking me, you know, obviously I want to talk to other people, and we all want to be understood by other people, you know, but at the same time I'm at a point in my life where I really don't care if you know, so this is something I haven't really thought about a lot. You know, I'm quite comfortable where I am, but, you know, I suppose my favourite one is the Roald Dahl quote, you know, those who are incapable of seeing magic or, you know, or believing in magic are never going to experience it. And that's my sort of motto in life, is anything is possible. You know, I don't believe anything's impossible. You know, I believe if we can picture or imagine something, it can be, and the human race has proved that time and time again. Do you know, like you talked about Star Trek, the original Star Trek, they had mobile phones. Like, come on. Do you know, that was an idea in somebody's head, now that's how our mobile communication system works.
Overtaken
but that was planted subconsciously to
flip
whoever.
Phones were so 1990.
Yeah, do you know what I mean? You know,
but that came out in 1967.
Exactly.
1966. Yeah. Like, that's...
Would you say, though, right, sorry if I can't interrupt, Kat. Would you say, though, that the mobile phones that we've made would be influenced by Star Trek and not a totally separate thing?
No, I do believe they were influenced by Star Trek, absolutely. You know, there's no doubt about it in my mind. Kat. But I'm sure people would not agree, and that's fine. But to me, you know...
Kat, go on, before I change my mind.
I was just going to say, Gene Roddenberry would disagree with you, because he had a near-death experience where he saw a lot of this shit. According to him, he's dead now, obviously, but he said he saw flip phones in the future. So that's where he got the idea of that. Weirdly enough,
would you not put that under the banner of a premonitionary dream? Then, do you know, how can you know that these are the things I'm talking about that I experience, and you know, like where did that come from? That was just a random dream he had.
At that time, telegraphs had been out for 70 years. So instead of having to go to the telegraph pole to get your message, why not get the message in
I know,
your
but
Because
hand.
it's
yes,
a huge
exactly.
leap.
What?
Because that's a huge leap you
We're
just
talking
made.
24th century. It's a huge space of time he's talking about, you know. And telephones were around in the 70s.
Yeah.
Oh yes.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so mobile telephones isn't a giant leap.
No,
Saying
it's
the
not.
idea
No,
of
but the fact,
communication across.
my point is the fact that they actually look like what we seen in that Star
Oh,
Trek.
yeah.
That's what I mean. Like, you know, yes, of course that's a subconscious, you know, whoever has designed the first mobile phone, that's what they've had in their mind, and that's, you know, you can see how that's planted. But, you know, there's so much about the subconscious we don't know. That's what I'm saying. The practice of magic is the practice of the occult. What is hidden, you know, and the subconscious is hidden. And to me, the point I was making about energy, in my belief, I know what you're telling me, that it's the amount of work and all.
The sarcasm in your voice is totally undistinguishable from your normal voice. Go on ahead.
I'm not being sarcastic.
Okay,
I'm just stating that I do know, you know, I don't want it to come across that I'm stupid and I don't get your point. I
No,
do.
we're all cool.
But what I'm talking about with energy is, it's all the same energy. Subconsciously, our brains are transmitters and receivers. Do you know what I mean? If you can believe that there's people we can transmit to other races in space, and that can be possible. Why is it such a big leap to think that magic could be possible?
Because if I send a signal to an alien in space, I'm using it.
Why can't...
Thinking really hard and hoping he hears it. Do you
But-
see
but-
how
but-
that's how
but
I
what
see
you're
it?
what you're doing physically is literally a manifestation of what you're thinking. You're trying to communicate, so you're making a physical manifestation to be able to do that.
One of my most favourite shows, and I'm sure a lot of people, Richards, I see his hand up, we'll ask him next. One of my most favourite shows in the fucking world, and I've got her next door, actually on the other side of that wall, sleeping like a dream. Is she's now watching Dragon Ball Z. Voltron is next.
Right,
And
okay.
I don't know if you've ever seen Voltron.
I don't think so.
Right.
Yes.
Voltron is, right. You see where I'm going with this, right? Voltron is a combination of magic and technology.
Okay.
Right?
But you
And
see,
it's
that's
aliens
how...
have figured out that magic and technology are the exact same thing.
Exactly.
And it's an 80s anime, okay? But I'm saying, this is one of my favourite shows.
It's a premonition of what's going to happen in the future.
Giant lions. They have 5 lions they put
Mom.
together to make a robot.
Anything's possible in
Giant
my
bird.
world.
Yeah.
I love Voltron.
But it's a really good show, so I do understand where you're coming
That's
from.
what I mean. You know, these ideas, you know, my argument is, where do these new ideas come from? Do you know, how come...
Everything we know is built on the foundation of others.
Exactly.
I think that's a fantastic phrase. I don't think that we are getting information. I've talked to Richard in fucking depth about his vision that he experienced and this information, and there's no convincing that motherfucker of any other thing that he got that from an outside source. There's and Beck is his brother, so
Yeah.
he's like, I fucking grew up with this motherfucker, I fucking know, you know. Definitely the way it is. So I understand where that's coming from and how that's definitely perceivable as possible.
Yes.
Hello, they're brothers.
Yeah.
Yeah, like actual blood kin with the same parents.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
I am the youngest. He is the next to the youngest.
I can
Look
see the
at them. They
resemblance.
look similar.
See Richard.
Yeah, I mean, like, now that you
I can
say
see
it,
the
yeah, I can
resemblance.
kind of see some
Wait a minute.
similarities, but
Richard,
like,
with,
Yeah.
Richard without the beard though doesn't look like Beck. I find that I've seen
Huh.
one picture of Richard without the beard and he doesn't look like Beck at all.
It's the nose, Robbie. He has mom's nose. I have dad's nose.
Ah,
That's what. If our noses were the same, we would look much more alike.
throws the whole centre of the face off. Well, that works because
Well,
my wee girl, that's all she got off me was my brains and me nose. Hopefully she
No,
didn't get
no
the
offense,
forehead.
Richard. You have a similar nose to me.
I like
No,
my
no,
nose.
no offense. Yeah,
Looks good
I
on
like
you,
my
bro.
nose too. I
I
like, your nose.
nose.
Bookie
It-
has
yeah,
just
it-
shouted at me for not letting other people talk, so I'm going to be quiet for a while and sneeze.
Yeah, you had your
Hey,
show.
Marie.
Yeah, bro.
Gesundheit.
Yeesh.
Okay, so we
Marie.
naturally and intrinsically know how to make vocalizations using air movement, right?
Yeah,
And we make sound waves on air.
that's right.
And there's special parts of the brain that, you know, process that in interesting ways and can learn a language that way. Okay? In fact, there's entire large parts of our brain dedicated to that and that alone, which is interesting, right? But it's a medical scientific fact that humans radiate in several ways, in heat, in electromagnetism, even in very, very small radio. So to say something like, we have charted everything and we know everything and we know every way that there is to communicate, first of all, we haven't completed that survey. Second,
Absolutely
we are
not.
always learning new ways that the brain functions and communicates. And communication is apparently a really big deal to us. To say something like there is a natural tendency for humans to want to communicate seems intuitive.
Yeah.
To say that there's no way that we could be communicating non-locally, non-verbally, non-visually over time space is an assumption we can't right now make.
Exactly. I'm just open to the possibility, and plus I also have a bit of experience of other dimensions, so
Right. Now, you can't just say that and not follow through on that.
Yeah, we need a story to go with that.
Which dimensions?
Do tell.
I
Sure
am
do.
like the 5th, the 6th.
I honestly have no idea what dimension it is anytime I go visiting, but
Anytime you, so it's a regular thing.
I've
Right.
been doing it regularly for about 3 years.
Like
I'm gonna be quiet and other people ask questions. Go.
I have a question. Is it like a different dimension of like perception, or is it like a different dimension in the sense of like a different place?
Right. It is obviously...
Or both?
Well, no, because my body stays in the same place. But... no, it's more of a perception thing, and it's aided to be able to do it. But I mean, you're in a different dimension. But for me, I'm not sure, I'm not aware if it's the same for other people that do it this way. But for me, I'm still aware of myself. A lot of people, when they do this kind of thing, they, like, you know, they're not, they completely go, if you know what I mean. You come back and you're fine, oh, it's great. But I mean, yeah, I seem to have a bit of an aptitude for it.
But where is
So,
it,
like-
what is it, Dark?
Astral projection? Is that what you're talking about?
No,
Or something similar?
what I'm describing is not astral projection. No, although I have done that too. Though I wasn't aware when it happened that that's what it was. It wasn't until I met people that knew about magic at a later time, and then when I knew a bit about psychology. You know, I've studied a bit of psychology now. I didn't finish the degree, but I do have an interest in psychology, so I'm not totally, you know, like, that's, I suppose that's why the video on Professor Dave I found a little triggering, because I suppose in my mind, with coming to do this with all you guys,
He was very forceful on the point of it was
you
cultish.
see, I already had imposter syndrome to come here, because even though I'd watched some videos and I'd met you and I was absolutely fine, I had no worries about you at all, you know, I didn't know what I had to offer. So I suppose when you sent me that video, it was sort of like, you know, I was sort of like checking myself.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
Before we came live, I said to you I was fucking nervous, hoping that all of this is working and the cameras are
Yes.
working and all the rest of it. And you were like, "Jeez, do I need to calm you down?" You
Uh-huh.
know, there's nothing to be nervous about. You
no,
did really-
no,
you know,
oh no,
been-
no, it's been brilliant. But like, you know, you have to remember, I haven't done this before. I you know, like, I'm pretty public about my beliefs and stuff. If people are interested and want to know about them, I'll speak to them. But I mean, I don't go around, you know, it's pretty obvious to look at me that I'm a bit alternative. You know, I don't really need to tell people unless they want to know, you know.
Saying that you're alternative though,
I'm not the mainstream, is what I mean.
Yes, but what I find with, you know, if I looked at a person across the street, or I looked at a person in the park or whatever, like that, parent of a child or whatever, you know, I'd be like, you know, there last week when I was talking to you about meeting the slightly older people that she get on with.
Yes, yes.
Wee girl's only 11, she's fucking new rock boots on, like a Metallica top. Yeah, go play with that wee girl, because
Yes.
she's more open-minded.
Yes.
And when I said to the wee girl afterwards, thank you, because as I say,
Yes,
Lena had given out presents and people
That's
had thrown them
right.
away.
Aw.
This wee girl took it home with her and she was like, oh no, she's the same as me when I was 6. She's great, she's fine. Don't worry, she'll be fine.
Yeah.
But they're when you say alternative, I see more open-minded.
Yeah, no,
I see people who are, you know, more willing to be open to not only other ideas but to other opinions as well.
I very often meet people, and I am one of these people, and very often I can't believe I've just told you that. I can't believe, people feel very comfortable in speaking to me. And that's one of the reasons I'm interested in podcasting, is not because I want to be famous or anything like that, but
there's no money in it.
we've all travelled a path in life, and there's nobody really gets out without some sort of scarring and damage and whatever. And I suppose I'm not a quantum mysticist, but I just want to, I suppose, like, help people, just inspire people. It's not even about literally counselling. You can't counsel everybody, but maybe I can do something that will make people think, well, if she can do it, so can I.
Yeah.
It's not even about glory or anything like that. Don't get me wrong, I love singing with my band. I'm chuffed I'm going to a fest. I get nervous as hell.
Yeah.
Like, I'll nearly make myself sick. It's a big deal, but I love doing it.
Even the smallest show of strength to someone else can show
Yeah, well, if you lead by example, and what I always say to people is, it's never too late. Follow your dreams. If you've got a dream, start working on it. And I have to practice what I preach. Do you know what I mean? When people told me at 35, Marie, you shouldn't be thinking about 20. Not good. Well, there we go. Look, I've done it. Yeah. And in between, I've had a baby and a lot of trauma going on. And then on top of that, what everybody's been experiencing with the lockdowns, and I still did it. So I suppose I see myself as kind of a walking miracle in a way. And I don't mean like as a saint or somebody that should be worshipped or adored. I just mean,
you bless water?
Well, I can if you want me to. But what I mean is, I just, I kind of feel like it's miraculous that I'm sitting here and I'm doing this and all the things I'm doing. And, I suppose I just want to show people hope. Maybe that makes me a mysticist or whatever. I don't know what it makes me.
Yeah, no, I understand that. It was something that you sent me, and the label that I put upon you was something that I knew of. Not something
I'm not offended by it. Don't get me wrong. I was never offended. I wasn't surprising. I'd watched some of your videos already, so when you sent me it, I wasn't going, oh my god, but actually watching and listening to him talking, it did trigger me. But then I'm emotionally sensitive, but like I'm not a wee fragile wee flower. Like, I was able to think and go, well, why is that bothering me?
No, he still came here.
I was always going to come.
Yeah. Anyone else? Any questions? Right, Richard's going to
Yes, Marie.
Hi. Who's talking about
Sam?
Hi.
Hi. What do you think of the oldest dog in the world?
Is this a trick question?
No, he's making fun.
No.
Pot.
Oh, Pot. Oh, sorry. Yes, class.
That's me class.
Oh, yeah, me and him's good mates. Yeah, we had a good conversation the first night I come in, about half an hour of at each other.
Richard, on topic question.
Yeah, I think when you want others to be okay with themselves and their experience and be able to share it comfortably with others, that's called being a humanitarian.
Oh, absolutely. Biggest humanitarian in the world. That would be a fair thing to say. But there's a lot more, it comes from a place of just wanting to see people happy,
If you can help people, you should help people.
Yeah, and there's a lot to get back from that. And I don't mean in like, oh, well, when if I do anything, it's never in the thought of, well, what'll that mean for me? But I can also see when I've done something good, good things do come from it,
Yeah.
So I'm always going to go and do good things if I can,
Well,
and not kill myself to do it.
It encourages people as well. If people experience more happiness, they will perform.
It's contagious. It's contagious.
Well, I just want to say, Marie, you are wonderfully pleasant and very good at this type of, I guess, conversation. I was very impressed. I knew you had not done this before, but when I was watching the, interview, I was like, God damn, this broad's fucking good at this fucking shit. Like, what the hell?
Wow.
Like, you're good at this. I appreciate your candor and the way you speak, and it's very good. You're very good at this.
Thank you very much, Kat. You're going to make me all emotional. Don't make me cry.
Really, they do.
Thank you so much. I really take that as a very big compliment, because I've heard you all bantering with each other, and I know that especially yourself, that wouldn't be said, unless you meant it, and I'm all emotional. Thank you.
Having the strength to give someone shit back and put them in their place, so to speak.
Yeah. Oh yes, but that's what
knowing who you are. And having the confidence in who you are to be able to... You need confidence to do this to a certain point. Not all of us... None of us here are here for the fucking money, the fame, like that, But to put yourself on camera, to go there, to take that I didn't do camera for a year.
Yeah.
I was a blue floaty digital head.
Yes.
I didn't go on camera.
Oh, I've seen him too.
Yeah. Didn't go on camera. It takes a wee bit of confidence to do that. And having the confidence in your beliefs and who you are, it definitely gives you a lot of strength doing this, because you will be able to say, hey, hold on now the fuck. You're wrong there.
Yeah.
You know?
Oh, absolutely. Like, I'm not, you know, I think people sometimes look at me and see this wee, well, you know, delicate, fragile thing, and I'm anything but. I'm not trying to boast either. I'm very powerful, you know. I know what I want, and I know what I want to do. Now, don't get me wrong, I have really dark days, you know, there's no doubt, you know, that, you know, I'm not like this all the time, you know, there's days that,
Can't get out of bed, feel bad. Yeah,
I'm
we
like
all get
everybody
there.
at the minute, you know, it's like, it's not like it's not going on for everybody, but I mean, you know, and I suppose because I have those dark days, I know what it's like, and if I'm not having a dark day, if I can make somebody else's day a bit brighter, that makes me feel brighter. I feel lighter. I can breathe better. You know, see the feeling when somebody like genuinely says to you, thanks so much, that really helped. You know, there's nothing like it.
No.
And maybe I'm addicted to that, you know, and I don't know if that's wrong. Well,
no,
so
there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with that.
So.
Stephen, anything?
Yeah, I mean, I kind of have to thank you for showing up and you know, like, for kind of being in the same room as MathPig for a couple of reasons. No, genuinely for a few reasons, because you made MathPig say scientism, you made his camera fuck up, and you put a mug in front of the camera, so don't you fucking dare criticize my production skills ever again, Mike. Ever again.
11 out of 10.
Oh, I can't believe I said scientism. I really can't. As soon as I said it, it came out of my mouth and I just went, fuck, did I just say that? No.
Now, does anyone have that as a clip that they could just share everywhere?
We will.
I will.
A few of them, just edit them together.
Oh, no. Did not like that. Well, fuck you, Stephen. Thanks.
Simon,
Yeah, it was a
like,
pleasure.
come on here, I
I'm
say that you're
glad-
fake
I'm glad.
Irish. It's banter. It's, yeah, we all get along.
Oh well, here I'm glad that I was able to help.
Well, I have a question by proxy from my boyfriend. So he wants to know, because like a lot of Gen Z people, I think what did you say? 1 out of every 8 Gen Z people is going into like witchcraft or Wicca or whatever.
It's popular.
How do you feel about that?
First of all, please, and I'm not being sarcastic or anything, see this whole Gen Z fucking baby boomer. I haven't a fucking clue. What does Gen Z mean? What does that?
The youngest group.
Ask Kat, because
Like, people under
Is that
20.
an
Younger
age
than
group?
me.
It's
I don't know, like
It's an age
20.
group.
All right. So what are
So
you?
you've got
23 to
millennials.
like
Millennials
younger.
Are like 1983, 84.
I would have said
Right.
younger than 23. Gen
What?
Z, I would have said younger than 23. I would have
I
said
don't know,
probably
man.
20 or younger.
Right.
That's
I'm not
roughly
a
what I
young.
would say Gen
Well,
Z is.
because I think
Guys.
I'm a boomer. I'm 70s. So
I know.
think
I just want
I
to
just know that I'm a
because I
millennial.
just want to distance myself as much from them as possible. I'm not a
Please,
Gen Z,
somebody
I'm a
Google
millennial.
it.
Yeah.
Somebody
I'm
Google
not
it.
doing
Okay,
no.
sorry.
Yeah, she's just admitted to being a boomer, possibly.
move on.
Possible boomer.
I think it must be a boomer, but I'm
Possible
sorry,
boomer.
and in doing that, I got distracted from the question. Can you tell me the question again, please,
Um,
Kat?
So younger people. So we'll say just because
Okay.
we'll say 20-ish. 20, a little bit younger.
Okay.
A lot of them are going into like witchcraft and
Oh, right.
Wicca. What are your thoughts on that?
See, to be honest, it's not like I'm trying to push, my beliefs and get more people to join in. So I think it's great that they're open to it. I see a lot of childishness with it, but then they're still children. When you're talking young adults, you're still got that childlike naivety and whatever. So, I suppose it's just like anything. When my son gets to be 20 odd, I hope that I've given him enough knowledge not to, do anything that'll do any major harm to himself or anybody. But I suppose as a mother, I worry about younger people getting involved in anything. Because there's so many factions of everything. Like with witchcraft, I remember the witch who aided in my initiation, who organised it and all, and he knew of how I'd finally found people before him, and they were into Thelemic magic, which is your Aleister Crowley and all. Now, the guy that I first learnt anything from.
Oh, we're gonna have to definitely do a follow up on
But
this.
but now I have nothing to do with Thelema apart from I love their tarot deck, and there's a very emotional story behind that, because the guy that I'm talking about, he died, but before he died, I went with him, and I got this set of tarot cards. He went on a trip after all
I can
the
see
past.
that.
So there's a whole link, but yeah, so I remember that the witch that helped with my initiation, he said when he found out that this other guy had been involved, his first thing, he's like a very father figure to me. You know, he would be very fatherly or brotherly, whichever way you want to put it. And he says, now you do know, like, if has anybody approached you about sex magic? You know, he was worried. You know, that sex magic,
right?
Because Thelema is kind of, you know, has a reputation of that, let's say, or whatever he had heard. So he was really concerned. Obviously, I'd never had any issue there. There was not a problem, and even at that age, I was never going to fall victim to any enticement, you know, or manipulation. Maybe younger or whatever, and that's why I would worry, you know, for. I don't really like the idea of gangs and occult gangs and covens and stuff. You know, I think sometimes people take it a wee bit too far. They don't see what they see in the movies, and they think they're going to do that, and you know, and it's well, for me, I can't speak for other witches, but for me, it's basically just like how to live your life, do you know, and be happy. It's not even, you know, I do believe in magic, like, you know, and I see proof of it. Obviously, it's subjective. Would the word be proof? Yeah, subjective. Yeah. I always get the two mixed up. It's subjective proof, but it's proof, and I believe it, and I know it, and I feel it. So, you know, that's why you can't really shake me. I see too much evidence to convince me otherwise, and I'm perfectly seeing, and I'm pretty intelligent. I'm not
saying you fucking came here and you're nearly 2 hours with me. I don't know about that. Like.
Yeah, no, well, you don't scare me, MathPig.
Stephen?
It's just a question that's just kind of popped up there. Like, a lot of kind of what you were saying, you know, about like coincidences and stuff, like about like when you were saying that like you would like talked about someone that you knew like 15 years ago or something like that, and then you'd bumped into him. Yeah, like, so I have a lot of friends who believe this, and I do you know, I have to admit I am kind of slowly starting to believe this myself, but they believe that we live in a simulation. And like they will kind of they'll kind of say a lot of the same stuff as what you're saying. Like when you haven't seen someone in 15 years and you know you bump into them, that's kind of like they'll kind of attribute that to the simulation. I mean, like, what's the kind of difference, I guess? And I mean, like, how do you know that like you're right and that they're wrong, and that it is something to do with like the Wiccan magic or whatever?
Well, the thing is, I know this is going to sound real corny and guru and all, but I know myself at this point, and it hasn't always been this way, and I know myself better now than I ever did, you know, but that's accumulation, obviously. But I mean, I get feelings, and I know, and I get feelings about a lot of things. You know, I get the strangest feelings about people. You know, I used to go to a lot of parties years ago. I used to have a lot of parties, and there'd be a lot of people, and I could literally mind read them. I wasn't actually reading their mind, but I could feel their energy, and I knew what was going through their head. It wasn't a big leap. Now you can call that body language, whatever. I don't care. I remember that series Lies come out or whatever with your man, and they were saying, you know, reading micro expressions. But you know, I've always had this talent. You know, I've made people gasp at things to do, and they're not planned. It's always off the cuff. It's just because I'll be in the mood to like, right, I'm going to prove this shit to you, you know. And I'm not doing magic tricks or anything. It's, you know, it's not anything you couldn't explain, but it's highly statistically unlikely that it's possible. You know, I'm very good at doing things like that. So.
No.
I just want to say, MathPig, what do you mean a real question?
What?
What do you mean a real question?
Spooky says...
Was that a dig?
I'm a water rabbit, cat's a wood dog, what's Marie? So I'm like, is that a real question?
I'm a water rabbit, cat is a wood... No, they're talking about... They're talking about...
Apologize.
Chinese zodiac. The Chinese zodiac sign.
Alright, okay.
Surprisingly, can you guess what I am?
Jackass.
I think I'm snake.
Chinese year of the pig.
I'm snake.
Oh.
Damn, I tried to say it first.
What kind of pig, though? Like, are you a wood pig, a metal
I'm a
pig, a
boar,
water
man.
pig,
No.
a fire
I'm a
pig,
boar.
But
earth pig?
yeah, okay.
I guess a
Obviously
math pig.
pig.
Yeah.
Chinese
Yeah.
astrology signs.
Yeah, I think I'm snake. I'm not 100% sure though. Take notions. I go in and out of things. Like I find them interesting for a while and then I get bored.
Yeah.
You know, so I'm not. I can't really
Would
remember.
you say get bored or don't see it? If you seen an alignment in its belief system with yours, not that you would swap, but would you?
I take it on board.
Take it on board.
I integrate it.
Yeah, you would integrate it into
That's what I
your
mean. I
system.
keep my mind open, but I do have, like, obviously everybody has core beliefs about everything, do you know, and I have those, but I'm quite happy to. In fact, what I actually am trying to do at the minute is shift a lot of negative core beliefs that I have that have been conditioned in. This is what I mean. You know, it comes a lot from psychology and experience and all those sort of things. Like, but magic is the thing that always fitted me the most, and it wasn't because I needed something to get me through, because I could, you know, I was quite aware of how I could end whatever I wanted to end, you know. But it was a case of that's what made me not want to end things, because I could feel that there was
comfort in it.
Yeah, there was comfort in it, yes, but not out of if I believe this, I'll feel better. It was just I could feel it.
Well, you see, this is an asshole statement. There's comfort in it, and then I flash back to what we said at the start, with the fact that magic has always been there. Miracles are generally a good thing. Having comfort in it is something that has been there as a child, and having a security blanket.
But I didn't have. This is the thing. So I actually didn't. You know, yes, well, it was used as a comfort, but like, you know, I sort of came to all my beliefs. You know, it wasn't
feels
like somebody
right to you.
Yeah.
Yeah, it feels right to you. I understand what you're trying to put across. Comfort's maybe not a good enough.
Yeah, it is true, but it's not all it is.
No,
if that
it's
makes
a
sense.
part of it. Yeah,
yes.
I understand.
So that's what I mean. I won't argue with you on that, you know, and I get, and that's what I mean. Again, going back to your Professor Dave thing, you know, with the triggering, you know, that's
really
what
don't
I
like
do.
that video, do you?
I don't sit and have something in my head and go, right, well, that's it. You know, like I looked at that Professor Dave video, I got triggered, and I thought about it, and I goes, well, why am I triggered? You know, so I sat and I went through the motions and
self-improvement and looking at how, you know, looking back at things. I don't watch any of my streams back, I'll be honest with you. And, you know, I'm going to remember what happened. I just have an issue with watching myself back, you know. I'm going to have to watch me say scientism about 100 times.
Probably for
in the next fucking 3 days, but...
and God knows how long after that.
Oh, don't even get me started. But other than
Has
that...
anybody done it yet?
Fucking, there's already a couple of people on it. Look at the live chat. We're not even going to talk about it. But other than that, I can't watch myself back. But self-improvement, being aware of, like, whenever I said to you, and you, I wouldn't say stood your ground. Good phrase. When you stood your ground and you were like, hereby, and someone in the chat says Robbie's just been pegged and stuff like that, you know, it was, my initial reaction after that was like, shit. Oh no, I've, you know. Blah, blah, blah,
but I wasn't offended. But I'm not gonna take. You know, I'm gonna stop you if I think we're going nowhere. Do you know, that kind of way, or if it's like a total. You know, I'm not here to argue to try and convince you that my beliefs are what you should follow or what is true.
No.
All I can tell you is they're true for me, and you know.
That's it. Yeah.
That's it. You know, and when I say, like, when I'm on a podcast, it's not about trying to make people come to witchcraft. I'm not some high priestess that needs a flock. I just want to reach people, I suppose, and like be a muse, I suppose, is the best thing.
You will not find anyone in this panel except for Sammy, because he's new as well, so I can't. Only got a 1990s computer. It takes him 20 minutes. So he's fucked. But everybody here in this panel, regardless of our beliefs, regardless of where we're going, Stephen's more politics, you know, Beck's more trans rights, Christopher makes fucking food while he talks philosophy. He makes fresh pasta in his kitchen from a laptop while he talks philosophy.
Like a bit of philosophy.
Sunday nights, 7 o'clock. What is the name? Describe your title.
Good and All? Good and All is a prescription strength hangout for when you've been online a little too long and you have a case of the fuck-it-alls. All you really need, this is what the doctor prescribes. And I'm not a doctor. I just play one on YouTube.
And
you take some Good and All prescription strength. Like, don't mess with this, right? You don't want to OD. You want to come on Sundays at 2 o'clock Eastern. I don't know what that translates to where you are.
I was going to say about 7 p.m.
Yeah.
It's 5 hour difference. 5 hour difference.
You're gonna have to do me a
and it's
spreadsheet.
it's mostly my friends
Me and Dave have been
trying
talking
to
about that
get
for
me taken
years.
off YouTube while I scream at them that this is a family show.
Oh.
That's usually the vibe.
And Chris will not admit this, but he is one of the best bass players that I have ever met.
Get out of
Nice.
Why does he have to admit your opinion?
There you go. Thank you.
Here, what time?
He won't.
I don't consent to this, you
yeah,
bully.
It's getting that time. It's getting
Doesn't
that time.
matter though.
Half-half.
I mean, it's still his
Oh
opinion.
God, because
Yeah.
Johnny will be on his way.
Yeah.
I think his ability to play bass is overshadowed by his amazing voice.
I think it's the angle, because when he puts it in, the bass just looks giant and it's in that right spot. The head's very tiny. It's very Pornhub style. I think just, we're conditioned to like that angle.
Right.
I do have one more
what's
question,
happening
and then
right now?
unfortunately I'm going to have to.
No, we're going to have to end at
because I have work.
half 12 was the cutoff point for us anyway.
Oh, it's
so
alright.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
run around the room. Everybody got a question. Stephen, we'll start with you.
Marie, have you seen the Mathkini?
The what?
No.
I didn't hear
No.
those.
Don't scar the poor
Have you
woman
seen the
this early.
Mathkini?
Mankini. Oh, well, I can only imagine. I've witnessed this in other forms, not here personally, but I've have friends that like to don the odd mankini when we're partying.
I do.
I'm
it for
sure
charity.
somebody will get a gif of it up soon. We'll
Yeah,
show
yeah.
you. It's fine.
Yeah, once you start a fucking Twitter account, you're going to be influxed from Stephen going, look at this embarrassing moment from Robbie. Look at this embarrassing moment from Robbie.
Brilliant. Just don't do them on me, please.
Sam, we'll go with you next.
Yes. Go ahead.
No, you go on ahead. Question
Sorry.
for Marie.
I'm trying to think of something to say.
We'll come back to you. Kat.
Why do y'all Irish people say goofy shit that scares me?
Goofy shit that scares you. Could you be more descriptive?
Yeah, such
Okay,
as like,
I
the
will be
values.
specific. Hear me out. So I was at work, and I was working with an Irish dude, and I went, and it was time for him to go on break, and I'm like, "Hey there, bud. I'm coming in to relieve you," and he goes, "Oh yeah, tea time for a fog."
Yeah.
And then walks away, and I was just like,
Yes.
What? There is no tea. Are you hitting on me? Like, I'm very confused. Like, why do y'all say shit like that? That's my question.
MathPig. Answer that.
Clearly. We say mad shit all the time because it's easier.
Yeah.
Alright? If you bring that one sentence down to one word, the reason I said coinkadink over coincidence wasn't to be an asshole to Richard, to be pedantic and go, I didn't say that. Coinkadink is something that's a, maybe not a cultural thing, maybe not an Ulster Scot thing, but that's definitely something that my mother uses. Coming from your point of view, my mother's side of the family would be, as they describe it, in tune with the other side. They're not witches, they're in tune with the other side.
I know what you mean.
And a coincidence... Shut up a minute. You asked me to fucking answer it, now you're talking over the top of me. Shut up. No, sorry, Sam. He'll slap me tomorrow. You're going to do it. Coincidence is a coincidence. We all know what a coincidence is. My mother would say coinkadink because a coincidence is something that's unexpected to happen but did happen. Trying to put across what you're putting across.
Yes.
There's no word for that thing.
No.
That coinkadink.
Yeah,
There you go. It's
yeah.
not coinkadink.
Yeah.
There you go.
It's like accoutrements or something when you're trying to describe what you're using or whatever.
Condiments.
No.
Accoutrements.
No, accoutrements. It's another word like...
Yeah.
Accoutrement.
Big Bang Theory?
It's like accoutrements, but different, yeah.
I don't know, you're about 3 joints in now, so we're going for the giggles. You know?
I know. Yeah, I'm starting to get
That word you're saying is Scottish. A coincidence.
Coinkadink.
Quinkadink.
Quick link. It's Scottish.
It is Ulster Scots.
Yeah, and my dad is Scottish, so yeah. Okay.
It's Ulster Scots.
Yeah.
It's Ulster Scots.
Richard or Christopher, who would like to go first? Go ahead there, Chris. Go ahead.
So I just wanted to comment on the fact that in like a 5-minute period, about 10 minutes ago, subtract 7, carry the 2. Anyway, there were like 3 different psychological topics brought up, and I just was in heaven, right? First, you brought up the TV show Lie to Me, which was based on Paul Ekman's research with micro expressions, right? So that's awesome. So that's psychology right there, right? And then simulation was brought up, which is fantastic because the newest cutting-edge research in affective neuroscience as well as consciousness research pretty much shows that our brain, in an attempt to be efficient, utilizes predictions in a sense that literally makes simulations in which we live. So that's a thing.
I know.
Literally. Yeah. So and I'm teaching that in my emotions course as like I'm teaching the conventional model, and then I'm teaching that.
Your stuff. You need to record your classes and just send them to me.
Oh, I have. I have them all recorded. So anyway, so that's the thing. So I thought that was wonderful. But I was going to ask if you happen to know about that research. But it sounds like you already did. You answered my question.
I know of it. I couldn't like quote you who carried out the research, or I can't tell you was it peer reviewed or anything like that. But I do know of, you know, these studies and different things. That's what I mean. That sounds like an excuse, but I do get a lot of brain fog, you know, so I'll read articles and things and I'll remember the topics, you know, because it's obviously of interest, but I couldn't tell you the researchers, things like that, I'm afraid at the minute. But I could look them up again and find them and do it, but not off the top of my head. But yeah, you know, it's funny, I pick up a lot of things like that. I don't even realise I'm doing it, but you know, that I've picked things up and then I'll hear about them again and I'll go, how did I know about that, you know? And I'm not even talking about that universal theory you're talking about, Richard. I'm just talking about, you know, it happens. You're very warm looking.
Really warm. We have been smoking a lot in here.
I know.
It's 2 things. I can't remember the first. Barely can remember the second. Yeah, the topics. Google Scholar. Do you know of Google Scholar? A lot of people don't know of Google Scholar.
I've heard of it.
What they know of is what, as you've described, articles. You've seen a newspaper article dragged in by clickbait, something that you're invested in, maybe reading New Scientist.
Oh yeah, no, and I understand all of that too.
If you just go to Google and type in Google Scholar, it'll swap you from Google to Google Scholar, where when you do a search engine, it searches for actual papers.
Right.
So if you type in the name of the study, if you know of it, or the people involved, or even just a topic, and hit enter, you will get a search engine that'll search through the papers. You can actually see the people who made them, the actual paper. Richard, anything you would like to ask?
Wait, hold on a second.
Sorry, no.
I'm sorry,
Did I
Richard.
give Chris a chance?
So,
Chris,
I mean, since you brought up Google Scholar, if anybody was interested in the work that I do, I actually manage a lab. My full-time gig is I manage a lab that studies the psychology of the sense of smell. So you could look my name up in Google Scholar and see all the fun stuff that my lab publishes.
Chris, whenever I was talking earlier and we were at work, it was yesterday, Sam works 3 buildings up from me in the store, and he was like, you know, I'm talking about this. I've been pushing the string for a while, you know, I've been looking forward to this first live interview. Person with a back problem beside me, you know.
What?
Nothing.
I was busy reading the comments, you're lucky.
Sam said to me, so just the usual people and all. I said, no, I'm bringing on an expert. I'm bringing on a guy that studies the psychology of smell to the point where he's actually worked with someone whose artwork is in the Tate Museum. Am I right in saying that, Chris?
Oh, yes, yeah. Annika Yee currently is in the Tate, and I believe that they just had an extension because we had to send her extra fragrances.
Oh,
so
there you go.
We have an expert, you know.
Yeah, there you go.
I do tell people you are very much into the thought of smell.
I like it.
Richard, have you anything you would like to ask Marie as we end?
Everything we experience is in our mind.
Exactly.
So, I have a question for Marie, and I have a question for MathPig, actually.
Remember, I do have the power to kick you from the stream when you ask me my question.
I know. That's why I'm posing it last. So, a little bit of war tactics here. Marie, not to shill myself and my channel, you already know I exist, so I'm not really shilling, but I'm inviting. If you would give me a second chance to try to understand your mind and experience better, I would deeply appreciate it.
What do you mean? You want me to come on again?
You don't have to answer now.
Richard,
I would like to do an interview with you.
Would you on his channel?
Yes, absolutely. But you're gonna have to give me a little time to get set up properly and all. But yeah, absolutely.
She has the equipment.
I don't know how I'm going to help or anything, but yeah, absolutely, I'm up for it.
There's nothing for you to do to help or be a dysfunction in any way. It's just a question.
I would
just
happily
a
go
casual
on to
talk
your
about
channel.
your experience.
I would happily go on.
And-
yeah, absolutely.
And
I
for
would be
Robbie,
delighted.
so he can kick me off the channel. Before she got there, did you indeed button the shirt up and unbutton it again?
This is a full suit. I had the fucking coat and all on. The waistcoat's hanging in the fucking bedroom. But the reason that I did that is because me and my wee girl went to the cinema today, and she was like, "Daddy, we should dress up."
Aww.
And I told you that.
Yeah,
I told her that when she arrived. I was like, "Ignore the
Sure
suit."
seems like it in you. The boots never hang off.
Yeah,
Seems you answered everything but my question.
I did have it buttoned, and then I unbuttoned it for the interview.
Thank you.
It was
That's
buttoned up
what I
for the
wanted to
suit
know.
when we went
Yes.
to the cinema. Elena wanted
Very
to be
good.
dressed up really nice for going to watch dancing pigs on stage.
And Dad should.
Daddy did. Except for the waistcoat, it's a little small.
Right.
But yes, Richard, in answer to your question, I would be delighted. Once I'm ready.
All honesty, from what I've heard from her, she has the equipment. She just doesn't know how to plug leads in. She's like yourself, Richard.
Well, I
Has
know
the
what's going to
equipment.
happen. She's going to call you.
Technical.
You're going to walk her through it.
Yeah,
and
I
that'll
don't
be
even.
fine.
I'm known to
Walk her
shame
through it. She's
technical.
what, 4 mile away. I'm driving up and setting it up for her. It's just
There you
quicker.
go.
It's just quicker.
That's a good neighbor.
Yeah.
And I just want to say, you're welcome on my streams if you ever want to come in. So.
Wow, absolutely, Kat. That would be an honor.
I'm going to send you Kat's channel link, and you can watch some before you answer.
Absolutely. No, but I've already listen. See, this is what I don't need to do that because I can already tell
You sure?
it'll be fine. Yeah.
Totally fine.
My channel has gone a better direction as of recently, so yes, it will be fine.
Well, I would love to if you think that I'm of any interest.
She talks
yeah.
about recipes for cooking babies. Up for
Oh, I.
Yeah,
Do you
yeah.
like a good conspiracy theory, Kat?
Oh, I love a good conspiracy
Oh, we'll get
theory.
on. Yeah, absolutely. I'll come on the channel.
What have I done?
Hell yeah.
What have I done?
Nice
have I done?
one. Nice one. I'd be delighted.
Sam, have you thought of a question?
I wasn't quite through. I'm sorry.
Richard, go on ahead. If you haven't, it'll give Sam more
Sorry,
time.
Richard.
Please try to consider it. Marie, please try to consider us additional friends.
I absolutely do. There's been no point this evening where I felt like I'm under any sort of, well, there would be no threat, obviously, but I mean, I've been totally at home. It's been a bit nerve-wracking. I've never done anything like this. Me and Robbie don't know each other that well, but
Nope.
I've really enjoyed it.
No, don't know
Did
each
you
other.
spell it?
No, it's fine. Didn't know anyone. No, we barely know each other at all.
Yeah,
Like,
no,
we've
but
hardly
this
met.
has been lovely. It's really nice to meet you all, and I've sort of seen some of you coming in and out of the parties of the videos I've watched, so it's nice. It's I kind of feel like I sort of have a wee bit of a knowing about you, so yeah, no, I feel really at home. Thank you for having me. Yeah.
Well, we have been smoking in here for close to 2 hours with no open doors because of the child, and it is fucking roasting in this room. So on that, Sam, do you have thought of a question yet?
Yeah. I'm talking to Maria here. How did you find your interview with Maria? Sorry. How did you find your interview with Robbie MathPig?
Enjoyed it, yeah.
Fun. Definitely
I knew when our mutual friend John suggested, I knew it was worth looking into.
John's a decent guy.
I don't generally text people I don't know, saying I know you don't know me, but but I like to step out of my comfort
Everybody
zone,
knows.
and this has been really nice, and it's something I want to do, and I feel like I've met some really cool people. I've been live on the internet. There's a first, I never thought I'd see the day where I would have enough confidence to sit
OnlyFans is
live
next.
on the interview, and be interviewed, and I've done it.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
yeah.
Stephen's laughing.
I'm
'cause he's
very
laughing.
grateful to you all, and
Well, here I'm 2 or 3 miles away from you.
He's down
as
to
in,
right.
There's a famous cat. There's a famous castle.
I'm only from
beside you.
Portadown. You don't need to worry, Pat. I know all about it.
She knows where Tandrick is. She's poured it down.
I work there 2 or 3 times a week.
There you go. But I was over there with Robbie just before you came on.
Yes.
Did you find it comfortable, or could we change it anyway, or was it all good?
no, we've been grand. Apart from this fella's about to melt right now. You know, I'm cool as a cucumber. You know, what can I say? Witch vibes and all that.
I'm very glad that the camera's very far away.
I think these are very, very alike.
I think, yeah.
It's like the same. Please say, I think these are very alike.
Yeah.
We get on. It was good crack.
We're good. We're a match made in heaven. Wow. Good.
If MathPig has you chained to the couch, shake your head. We will send her. Hold up a second.
She shook her head. Didn't say which way.
Do I sense romance in the air?
No, she has a boyfriend.
Oh, absolutely. I'm sorry.
Yes.
I have to disappoint you all. I have the man of my dreams coming to pick me up any minute now. Oh, I know. Sorry.
Doesn't matter.
He's fabulous.
Both of us are happy. Both of us are happy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, but it was a brilliant interview. Brilliant.
Yeah, well, we're going to do something. We'll do something else.
She's a chatterbox and I'm a chatterbox. Yeah. That's about it.
Well, we'll come up with ideas. We'll do something else. Yeah,
I am totally up for summoning the devil. I'm going to clear out the living room.
I tell you,
the
we
sofas
should do
back.
a live.
We'll get a pentagram going.
We'll do a live tarot reading.
There you go.
Ooh.
A what?
A live tarot reading.
Yeah, why not?
Oh, Robbie might not like it if it's too accurate.
He probably will.
You see, I would give off. You know, I would be anyone who knows me.
What? I'm already finding excuses for why it's true when it hasn't even happened. Is that?
So, everybody, thank you very much for coming.
I love you, Richard.
I'm melting. I am fucking melting.
Yes, and I need to go to bed. I was very sick last night, so
yeah. Brought our own tea and everything. Didn't think I had tea bags. I'm saying that I only have 2. Right. Oh, I just realised what I said. Right. On that note,
Just end it quick.
Bye.
Just kill it.